Have you ever wondered what secrets lie within the walls of abandoned places? There's a peculiar allure to these forgotten landscapes, a mixture of fascination and fear. They whisper tales of lives once lived, of histories now shrouded in eerie silence. From desolate towns to forsaken asylums, we're setting out to uncover the most chilling abandoned locales across the United States, each with its own macabre narrative. Come, join us on this chilling journey as we unravel the mysteries of the abandoned. Our first stop is the ghost town of Bodie, California. What once was a bustling gold mining town in the late 19th century, Bodie now stands in stark contrast to its former glory. At its peak, Bodie was home to nearly 10,000 residents, their dreams gilded by the promise of gold. Saloons, red light districts, and gambling halls painted a picture of a town alive with hope, prosperity, and a fair share of lawlessness. But as the gold veins ran dry, so did the dreams of the miners. The town's population dwindled, its heartbeat slowed, and eventually Bodie was abandoned, left to the mercy of the elements and the passage of time. Yet some say the town is not entirely deserted, for in this ghost town, the ghosts are more than metaphorical. Tales of spectral figures wandering the empty streets, of disembodied voices echoing through the abandoned buildings, and of unexplainable phenomena have been woven into the fabric of Bodie's history. The most reported apparition is that of a little girl named Evelyn, who met an untimely end in a tragic accident. Her spirit is said to linger, forever trapped in the town she once called home. The chilling atmosphere of Bodie is palpable, a silent witness to its turbulent past. The wind whispers through the gaps in the weather-beaten buildings, carrying with it the echoes of laughter, of heartbreak, of life and death. It's as if the town is trapped in a moment in time, a moment that's both in the past and the present. An eerie silence hangs heavy over the town, broken only by the creaking of old structures and the rustle of tumbleweeds. Bodie is more than an abandoned town. It's a testament to the transient nature of wealth, to the resilience of hope, and to the endurance of stories that refuse to be forgotten. It's a place where the veil between the living and the dead is thin, where the past and the present collide, and where every corner holds a tale of its own. The echoos of a prosperous past now blend with the whispers of the unseen, making Bodie a bone-chilling chapter in our exploration. Next, we step into the corridors of the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum in West Virginia. Once a bustling institution, its echoing hallways now stand as a chilling monument to a time when mental health was poorly understood and even more poorly managed. Constructed in the mid-19th century, the asylum was initially hailed as a beacon of progressive mental health care. It was designed to house 250 patients in a serene, nurturing environment. But as the years rolled on, the asylum became a victim of its own success. At its peak, it was home to over 2,500 souls, 10 times its intended capacity. In these overcrowded conditions, the asylum's lofty ideals quickly crumbled. Patients were subjected to inhumane treatments that were more akin to torture than therapy. Stories abound of patients locked in cages, subjected to electroshock therapy without anesthesia, and even undergoing transorbital lobotomies, a procedure as gruesome as it sounds. But it's not just the asylum's brutal history that sends shivers down the spine. It's the stories of what happened after the last patient was discharged and the doors were locked for good. Visitors and ghost hunters alike report hearing unexplained noises, seeing shadowy figures, and feeling an overwhelming sense of dread. There are tales of apparitions of former patients, still trapped within the asylum's walls, their cries for help echoing through the deserted corridors. In the heart of West Virginia, the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum is a stark reminder of our past. It stands as a monument to a time when the mentally ill were treated more like prisoners than patients, a time when science and compassion were overshadowed by ignorance and fear. The Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, a chilling testament to the horrors that can occur when humanity is forgotten. A dark chapter in our history indeed, but one that we must remember, lest we repeat the mistakes of the past. From the eerie silence of an asylum, we move to the ghostly echoes of the Orpheum Theatre in New Bedford, Massachusetts. The Orpheum Theatre, once a beacon of entertainment, now stands as a haunting testament to a bygone era. Built at the dawn of the 20th century, it was a marvel of architectural design, drawing in crowds eager for a taste of culture and refinement. Its grand opening on April 15, 1912, was a day of celebration and merriment, a day ironically shadowed by the sinking of the Titanic. For many years, the Orpheum Theatre was a hub of activity, its bright lights illuminating the night, its laughter and applause echoing through the streets of New Bedford. But as the years rolled on, the theatre fell out of favour. Modern cinemas and television sets began to steal its audience, and despite desperate attempts to keep up with the times, the Orpheum Theatre closed its doors in the mid-1950s. But that is not where our story ends. For even though the theatre stands empty, it is not silent. Legends abound of ghostly performers who refuse to leave their beloved stage. Whispers of spectral piano music, of shadowy figures caught in the corner of the eye, of applause that echoes through the deserted auditorium. Some say it's the spirit of a young actress who died tragically, her final performance cut short. Others claim it's the ghosts of the countless performers who grace the stage, unwilling to relinquish their applause. Even in its dereliction, the Orpheum Theatre retains a certain grandeur, a spectral beauty that speaks of a time when it was the heart of New Bedford. It stands as a monument to the past, a ghostly reminder of the fleeting nature of fame and fortune. But more than that, it stands as a testament to the power of the stage, the magic that lingers long after the curtain has fallen. The Orpheum Theatre, a stage where the line between the living and the dead seems to blur. Our final stop is perhaps the most chilling of all, the Murder Castle in Chicago. In the late 19th century, a man named Herman Webster Mudgett, better known as H. Holmes, was making a name for himself. Not as a renowned philanthropist or inventor, but as America's first serial killer. His claim to infamy was a peculiar and terrifying one, a hotel designed specifically to facilitate his murderous spree. This was no ordinary hotel. It was a labyrinth of horror, a murder factory, and it came to be known as the Murder Castle. Holmes was a cunning man, a master manipulator with a keen knack for architecture. He used these skills to design a building that was nothing short of a death trap. The Murder Castle was filled with staircases leading nowhere, doors that could only be opened from the outside, and a myriad of rooms, some soundproof, others airtight. All designed meticulously for one purpose: to kill. It's estimated that Holmes killed as many as 200 people in the Murder Castle, though only 9 murders were ever confirmed. The victims were often his hotel guests, unsuspecting travelers lured into a web of deceit and death. Holmes would dispose of the bodies in a basement kiln, erasing all traces of his heinous crimes. The remnants of the Murder Castle are nothing more than a post office today, but the chilling aura of its past still permeates the site. Visitors speak of a sense of unease that settles over them as they approach the building, a prickling sensation that's hard to shake off. Some even claim to hear faint screams echoing in the distance, a chilling reminder of the building's gruesome past. The Murder Castle serves as a stark reminder of the darkness that can reside within the human soul, the lengths to which one man went to satiate his insatiable thirst for death. It's a chilling testament to the evil that humans are capable of when consumed by their darkest desires. The Murder Castle, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can reside within the human soul. We have walked through abandoned towns, ventured into haunted asylums, tread lightly in ghostly theatres, and stood in the shadow of a murder castle. Each step we took was a journey deeper into the realms of the forgotten, the forsaken, and the feared. The ghost town of Bodie, frozen in time, its deserted structures holding on to the echoes of laughter, sorrow, and life, gave us a haunting glimpse into a past era. Then, there was the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, a monument to the darker side of our history, its long, shadowy corridors whispering tales of torment and despair. And who could forget the Orpheum Theatre, where the spectral applause of a long-gone audience still lingers in the air, a haunting melody of memories. And then, the final stop on our journey, the murder factory of Holmes, a place of unthinkable horrors, a chilling tribute to the monstrous acts of one man. Each of these places is a chapter in our nation's history, a physical manifestation of the stories, both good and bad, that have shaped us. They may be abandoned, forgotten by time, but their stories live on, etched in their crumbling walls, whispered in the wind that whistles through their empty halls. These abandoned places, with their macabre tales, serve as chilling reminders of the past, echoing with the whispers of those who once resided within their walls.